is rightly described by many as a paradise on earth, a dreamland of picturesque beaches and sunsets. But the reality is that, as with any place you can point to on the map, even heaven can become a hell for some unlucky individuals. Today we will be talking about a string of grisly unsolved murders that took place in Honolulu, Hawaii's state capital, between 1985 and 1986. The first victim was 25-year-old Vicky Purdy, the housewife of a locally stationed Army helicopter pilot. Purdy disappeared on the night of May 29, 1985. The next morning, her body was found in the shallows of a lagoon. She had been tied up with parachute cord and strangled to death, and thus was born America's latest serial killer, who would come to be referred to as the Honolulu Strangler. 8 months later, on January 4th, 1986, the Strangler claimed his second victim. 17-year-old Regina Sakamoto was taken in the morning as she walked to meet her school bus. The next day, her partially clothed body was discovered in Kihei Lagoon, the same lagoon that Vicky Purdy had been found in. Sakamoto had been bound, raped, and strangled. Perhaps feeling emboldened, it would not take as long for the killer to strike again, claiming his third victim. On the 30th of January that very same month, 21-year-old Denise Hughes was reported as missing when she didn't show up to her place of work. On February 1st, her body was found wrapped in a tarp and dumped in a drainage ditch near the Kihei Lagoon. She, too, had been bound, violated, and strangled to death with parachute cord. 25-year-old Louise Medeiros would become the fourth victim. She was found on April 2nd on the side of a road, partially clothed and bound with parachute cord, just as the others had been found. Medeiros had been 3 months pregnant at the time of the murder. The fifth and final victim of the Honolulu Strangler, Linda Pesci, age 36, was found on May the 3rd on Sand Island, a small island at the entrance of Honolulu Harbor. While Sand Island is located about 3 miles from Kihei Lagoon, worth noting is that the killer's typical dumping grounds was where her abandoned car had been found. Nude and bound, albeit a bit older than the previous victims, Pesci otherwise perfectly fit the killer's profile and modus operandi. Interestingly, authorities were drawn to searching Sand Island in part due to a tip from Howard Gay, a local who reported his theory to the police after consulting with a psychic. After indeed finding Pesci's body on Sand Island, the authorities turned their attention to Gay himself. Former partners of Gay's claimed that he enjoyed bondage play, including an interest in tying them up during sex. One girlfriend even claimed that nights that they had fought, concluding with Gay leaving the house, coincided with the nights of the murders. Despite an extensive interrogation, failing a polygraph, and being selected out of a photo lineup by a witness who claimed to have seen him with Pesci the night of the murder, no charges were ever filed against Gay, and the case remains unsolved. Howard Gay passed away in 2003, and while the case remains open, one fears that the questions behind the string of brutal murders may never be answered.